has been associated with Lasalle for almost since 2004. We can calculate now, 16 years, right? And over the years, I've actually seen Lasalle move forward and just so progressively, both in terms of their resources as well as in terms of their teaching methodologies, the pedagogies and everything. So if I have to say that one school which has really moved forward and providing the most, I won't say most, highest level of quality education is definitely Lasalle. So I'm not just saying that because Lasalle, I'm a representative of Lasalle. I work with art schools all over the world. So, but Lasalle is very close to my heart for two reasons. One is because it's closer to home, of course. So the students can go and come back. You know, they have a long weekend. They can come back during their weekends. So it's like almost like going from Delhi to down south. You know, so it's just like a 4-hour flight. That's why I like Lasalle. The second reason is also because I love Singapore. I mean, that's a small, tiny little place which has got everything, right? From the beach to the city life. Of course, you guys are not supposed to gamble, so I will not talk about that. The Marina Bay, I will not talk about that. But there's so much to do in Singapore. So if someone says, hey, Singapore is not like London and New York, I would say, but Singapore has so much more to offer. You know, it's literally like a home away from home. So I love Singapore for that. And I love the food. The food is amazing. People are absolutely great. You don't feel like you're in a foreign country. They have such a huge support system at Lasalle, which is fantastic. They have an international community where students are concerned as well as the faculty. So you literally get a diverse learning, you know, at Lasalle. Additionally, you can work there while you're studying. I think 20 hours a week. Am I right, Umar? So you can study 20 hours a week, work for 20 hours a week. And I think it's a great idea to get some kind of an internship or some kind of an exposure. It could be within the camp, inside the campus, or it could be even outside the campus. So if I would say it's important to take advantage of what Lasalle has to offer and really maximize its resources than just thinking of just going and doing your art classes. Yes, that's your classes. I'm sure it's a very, very rigorous program. But I know of students who have actually gone and worked with companies, interacted with companies, got their presence felt in companies so that they would get an internship opportunities, maybe during summer or maybe a job opportunity after the graduate. So nothing comes for free, nothing comes without hard work. So even if it's a matter of a job, you really need to extend and push yourself and make sure that you are using your right referrals and getting the right kind of internships, leading to full-time jobs. The campus is absolutely my favorite. It's been designed by an Italian architect, and I have literally seen brick to brick, wall to wall being built when this new campus came into being. It's fantastic. It's right in the heart of the city, and it's next to SMU, Singapore Management University. So I see a lot of the students of Lasalle with SMU kids. So I'm sure, you know, we have a huge Indian community there too. But that's not the entire purpose, is to just hang around with Indians. It's the whole purpose is to learn from an international and a diverse student body. And everyone needs to understand that. You get a very good degree from Goldsmiths, University of London, and Myra is going to tell you the details about the different various courses and what the eligibility requirements could be and stuff like that. What else would I say about Singapore? I love the food. I talked about that. Shopping is great. Work is great, closer to home. Education, implementations, opportunities is fantastic. But you just have to really work within the norms of the institution, because LaSalle is a art school. You fool around and they will have no place for nonsense. That is one thing which I always tell the students, you know, if you're diligent and committed, LaSalle is a place for you. Now, I think I've said enough. Humaira, can I hand over to you?
Okay, right. So thank you, Niharika. As usual, very great introduction. As per all other sessions. Okay, thank you so much for that. Yay, everyone. Hi. Nice to meet you. My name is Humaira. I am from the admissions office. You can call me Hooms for short if you find that my name is a little bit too long. I can see some familiar names in this session. Very nice to see some of the students here.
You have to keep changing the page to see the more new students too.
Yeah. I hope everyone is doing well in India despite this pandemic. Okay. Maybe I'll just quickly start by showing you some slides about what the college is all about. To those of you who have been to Singapore before, that's great. Those of you who have not been to Singapore, it is indeed a great country to be in. So without further ado, let me just quickly share the slides screen for you. Hang on, please. Okay. Let's just reshare that. Okay, so if you take a look at the slides in front of you, okay, if you've not been to LaSalle before, if you don't know how it looks like, this is actually how it looks like from the front. Okay, so indeed, this is not a drawing, it's not a rendering, it is an actual picture of the college taken sometime in the evening, perhaps around 6 to 7 p.m. Okay, so just some history and milestones, just like any other schools. We were founded in 84, so as of 2021, we're actually 37 years old, so pretty prominent for a school. Of course, we inspire to be Asia's leading contemporary arts and design institution. And I've got a short video here. I think maybe some of you have seen it before, some of you have not. So I'm just going to show it once again. It's a short video showing you the facilities. This black square is actually the building of LaSalle College of the Arts. Okay, so you will be able to see the facilities, some of the studios, the works done by our students, and also a little bit of what the college has to offer. So please enjoy this quick video. Okay, so that's the video of our McNally campus. So in the video, you would have actually seen another campus. So that's actually our second campus at Winstead. Okay, so you would be able to see that the Winstead is slightly older, but most of the programs will actually be held in the McNally campus. This one's merely for students who are doing some photography, or it's slightly bigger. So there are places to actually keep like sculpture machines, photography machines, and all of that. Okay. There is a complimentary shuttle bus that brings you to and fro, so certainly you can still meet your friends as and when. All right, so of all the institutions in the world, why should you choose LaSalle as your study destination? So let me present you 10 wonderful reasons on why you should choose our college. First and foremost, we are Asia's leading contemporary arts and design institution. So we are a specialized arts college. We do not offer any programs like business, IT, certain institutions, certain universities. They actually have a little bit of everything. But for us here in Lasalle, we only offer 30 different programs ranging from the visual to performing arts. We also offer unlimited interdisciplinary creative collaboration. So let's say if you are a fashion student, it does not mean that you will only do projects in the fashion industry. You will also maybe do projects with the students from the musical theater program or from the music program, depending. Okay, so you will actually get a chance to meet people from different students from different programs. Learning environment, certainly our learning environment is pretty great. Not too sure about the class sizes in India, but in Singapore, if you're in a local university or in a local college, usually it's about one lecturer to maybe about 60 to 100 students in one LT, in one lecture theater, okay? But for us here in LaSalle, we want the students to get the utmost focus from the lecturers, vice versa. So it is an optimal class size of maybe one lecturer to maybe about 20 to 25 students at max. So on top of small group classrooms, we do have project work, studio work, lecture classes, master classes, and all of that. So it's a great learning environment. Indeed, 40% of our students are from all over the world. We've got a big bulk of them from India. We've got friends from Indonesia. We've got friends from China, from Taiwan, from Philippines, from South Korea, from Japan. We even have friends all the way from the United Kingdom. Okay, we've got a few students from London. We have 2 or 3 of them from Brazil as well. Right, so our bachelor's and master's programs are endorsed by Goldsmiths University, as mentioned by Niharika ma'am earlier. So just to clarify that although we are accredited with Goldsmiths, but our programs are all actually developed, are original and developed by our very own faculty members, catering towards the Southeast Asian market. So it's not exactly the same program as if you were to go to Goldsmiths, yeah. Our lecturers, our program leaders, our professors, they've actually worked in the industry for maybe about 5 to 10 years. So you can be rest assured that you will be taught the most latest and recent knowledge, okay, about your respective industries. They are also practitioners, so which means some of them teach maybe in the daytime or teach in the weekdays, and they kind of work in the industry in the weekends. So yeah, they're all really great people. So earlier on, I mentioned about master classes. So we do have a vibrant campus life. So if you're going to squint your eyes slightly to the lady in black, you can see that she's actually Victoria Beckham, okay, David Beckham's wife. She was in Lasalle a few years back to give a master talk to our students in the fashion program. So apart from Victoria Beckham, we have quite a few other guest speakers or guest celebrities such as Lord David Putnam. We've got George Lucas as well, who is the creator of Star Wars. We also have the creator of Assassin's Creed. Okay, if you do have siblings or if you play games, you would know Assassin's Creed. The creator of Assassin's Creed actually came to Singapore to speak to our animation students. Right, some of the many brands and organizations that we partake in, our students partake in the competitions throughout their studies here in LaSalle. Tag Heuer is actually one of the luxurious watch brand. So diploma in design com students actually participated in Tag Heuer's competition to design a racing helmet for F1 Grand Prix, the F1 fast cars. And the winning design was actually chosen by Mr. Jensen Button, who is one of the F1 drivers. And our students actually walked away with Tag Heuer watches, one watch each. And for Swarovski, LaSalle students were actually given 45,000 Sing dollars worth of diamond crystals to conduct a fashion show, and some of our students were also under the mentorship of Swarovski, Singapore, for their internship. For music television, our broadcast media and audio production students were also given 2 minutes of national TV time to showcase their advertisements as well. So these are some of the many companies and also collaborations that our students get to partake in throughout their study time here in LaSalle. Okay, so all diploma and bachelor students, they need to go through a compulsory internship sometime in their final year, in the first semester. Okay, so internship is actually like work, but it's not a full-time job. So it's going to happen for one semester, which is about 4 to 5 months thereabouts, and you will be paid a monthly salary in Singapore dollars. Okay, an internship is an exceptionally crucial platform for you to make connections in the industry, broaden your horizons, speak to the prominent people in your respective industry so that, it would be easier for you to find a job after graduation. Some of our students even got a job even before graduation because, they are so talented. The companies actually poach them, okay, even before they graduate. So alumni, they've got their own businesses, they've got their own labels, okay. So I don't know if you know who is Zoe Siddharth. She's actually one of our students who actually participated in one of the competitions in India, like a vocal singing competition. So she is indeed one of our ex-students from the Bachelor's in Music program, a super talented singer from India. Yeah. Okay, so you can find our graduates working at all of these places. These are some of the many, many companies our graduates are working at. So if you take a look at interior design, K12D, SCDA, Warha Architects are super prominent globally famous architect companies. We've got CSYA Studio that's also super prominent in Singapore. For animation, Lucasfilm is the creator of Star Wars. We've got a headquarters here in Singapore. Some of our students actually intern in Lucasfilm, but because they're so good, they're so talented, they're so special, Lucasfilm actually hired them to be full-time employees for the company after graduation. So for musical theatre, which is a performing arts program, some of the students actually went over to London to work for West End Theatre. They're working in musicals, they are performers, okay? So we've got students working in the Universal Studios Singapore as performers. Yeah, very, very meaningful job. All right, so we've got so many countries. We've got the US, we've got the UK, we've got so many countries, Australia, Canada, New Zealand. But why should we choose Singapore as the study destination? I believe Niharika ma'am has also actually mentioned that she loves Singapore a lot. Okay, I mean I'm born and raised here. I've been living here for quite a while, and there's no other country that I would like to be in to live here to live in. So most importantly, not too sure about many other countries, but in Singapore specifically, the creative industries are recognized and supported by the Singapore government. Okay, so there is a specific government body that actually pumps in money, pumps in funds for people to actually have arts events throughout the calendar year. So we've got so many arts and cultural festivals flooding our calendar year, 365 days a year, inspiring events every year. We've got the Singapore Night Festival, Singapore Light Festival, Singapore Art Week, Singapore Art Jam, and these are all events open to the public. And some of these events are also actually collaborating with our students in Lasalle to have their works displayed for the public viewing. Okay, so if you take a look at the works in front of you, these are works by our fine arts students, both in the diploma and the bachelor's level, and they actually collaborated with Esplanade. So their works were displayed at the waterfront area. So if you've been to Singapore before, if you do know where is MBS, Marina Bay Sands, Fullerton Hotel, the tall buildings you see behind you are all actually the big banks and the big companies at the Central Business District CBD area of Singapore at night. It's really, really beautiful. Okay, so this is actually a graduate showcase. What exactly is a graduate showcase? It is a final year showcase for diploma, bachelor's, and the master's students. So every year in the month of May, we will have this graduate showcase physically in the campus for 2 weeks. Okay, so all of the students' works, be it individual or group work, will be displayed in the campus for public viewing. We will invite all the prominent bosses from the big companies in the industry. We will invite the special ministers from the government to actually come and do the opening ceremony with popping champagne and wine and all of that. So a lot of grand opening, if I can say so, and it's going to be conducted for 2 weeks. But unfortunately for 2020, due to coronavirus, thanks to the COVID-19 situation, we were not able to have it physically in the campus. So we've actually moved the Lasalle Graduate Showcase 2020 online, of which I will show you the links and all of that in a bit. So next is actually the video that will show you some of the works done by our final year students. So please take a look so you will have a glimpse of what the students do in their respective programs. Enjoy.
get this thing started. Let's get this thing started.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video. Apologies, I actually wanted to rename myself earlier. I didn't know that that rename thing will pop out in the middle of the whole screen. So I'm so sorry if you saw that halfway. Okay, so a common question that I usually get after showing that video is students will usually ask me, are those students from Lasalle and are those really the works done by them? The answer is yes and yes. Okay, so we've got a huge number of very, very talented students. You know, a big bulk of them are very, very talented, and the works are, especially so for the performing arts, the way they dance, the way they move their bodies, you know, the way they act, the way they sing, the way they play music, it's all really great. Okay, so earlier on I mentioned that the 2020 LaSalle show has gone online. So of course, if you'd like to see some of your seniors' works, you can proceed to tls.lasalle.edu.sg later after this presentation. Okay, so on top of that, we also have career services. So we actually offer assistance in internship. So for example, although you're in your first year and you know you're having quite a bit of a holiday time here in Singapore and you don't really want to go back to India, maybe because you just want to spend some time here with your friends, you can actually go for an internship program even in your first year during your holidays. So the first holiday that you have, it's the middle of your acad year, which is sometime in December. Okay, so it's like a December to January, about a month or so. And your longest summer vacation would actually start the mid of the next year, perhaps sometime around May. Okay, so end of May thereabouts. So June, July, and half of August, you will be having your longest break, which is about 2 months or so, 2.5 months, if I can say so. So some students, they really don't go back to their home country. They stay in Singapore and they get their internship because, you know, they want to build up on their resume. They want to experience, you know, some career in their industry and all of that. So internships, you can approach my career services team for help on that. Okay, so job opportunities after graduation or during holidays, and it's open to all current students and alumni of LaSalle. So in future, even after you graduate and you want to find a job in a particular industry, you can also tap onto my career services or LaSalle's career services to see what kind of postings are available for you. Okay, so the website is as follows: careerservices.lasalle.edu.sg. Okay. All right, so we move on to our programs. So we've got the diploma, undergrad, and postgraduate. Please ignore the certificate program because that's mainly like an English program, so to say, and it's mainly for students from perhaps South Korea, from China, you know, whose English is not met to the minimum requirements. So they have to embark on a 6 months to 1 year English program prior to embarking their full-time diploma or bachelor's programs. But for Indian students, no issues of that at all. They usually go directly to the undergraduate, which is the bachelor's program after their standard 12. Okay, we do have a small group of them who actually embark on the diploma program after their standard 10. Yeah, standard 10 usually in the IGCSE boards. Yeah, they don't want to go to A levels, they don't want to go to do the IB in their grade 11 and grade 12, so they move on to the diploma program in LaSalle. Postgraduate is indeed the master's. You can only apply for a postgraduate program after you have been offered, after you have gone through your BA, your bachelor's. Okay. All right. So some of the, no, actually all of the programs that we have, it's categorized in visual and performing arts at the bottom. So the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the diploma, that's the visual arts. And the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 programs for the undergraduate, those are the visual arts, the rest are the performing arts program, and they begin only in August every year. We're not like other universities who've got like, you know, summer intake, fall intake, spring intake, you know, 3 to 4 intakes a year. We don't have that. We only have one intake per year and only in August. Okay, so if you miss this year's August intake, unfortunately, you have to take a gap year and wait until the next August intake. Yeah, so try not to miss this golden opportunity to apply with us to join us for this 2021 intake. We have got the postgraduate programs as well. Art therapy begins in August together with the diploma and undergrad, but the rest of the MA programs begin in January each year. If you've got older siblings or you have friends or have contacts who would want to do their masters in the creative industry, Lasalle is the place to be as well. Admissions criteria. Must I be an art student to actually come to Lasalle, or must I take arts as a subject, visual arts as a subject perhaps, to join Lasalle? The answer is no, you do not need to do that. We do not look at specific subjects, okay? So even if you take random subjects like psychology, economics, business, English, math, you know, science, whatever, we still look at those subjects as well, okay? So we don't look at like specific subjects in particular. Most of our Indian students, they come with the Indian board exams, okay? ISC, CBSC. We have quite a handful of them who are also doing their IB diploma. So certainly you can actually apply for the bachelor's, study the bachelor's program with the standard 12 ISC, CBSC, IB diploma, A-levels and all of that. Okay, if you have the standard 10 ISC, standard 10 CBSC, IGCSE as your highest qualification, you will be eligible to apply for the diploma program. So the grades are all clearly stated there. Certainly, if you need assistance with all of these, EdNet is the best person to help you with your application and admission matters. Okay, so coming to Lasalle, we see a few things. Okay, we don't just take a look at your academic results. Certainly, it has to be a balance of both worlds. So you need to submit a set of audition or portfolio depending on the program that you have applied for. If you're applying for a visual arts program, we need a portfolio. If you're applying for a performing arts program, we need an audition videos. That's it. Okay, so for diploma, academic requirements, okay, and an audition or portfolio depending on the program that you've chosen, no interview. But if you're applying for a BA, of which a lot of our students from India are applying for BA, we will take a look at your academics, predicted scores if you've not done exams. Okay, we'll just take a look at the subjects you take for your predicted scores as well as your grade 10 mark sheet result slips. Okay, we will also take a look at your interview portfolio or your audition depending on the program that you've applied for. But aspect number 3 is you will also have to attend an interview online via Zoom, just like what we're doing right now. So just like an informal interview, okay, two-way process. Speak to the lecturers, get to know more about them, get to know more about the program. You can ask them anything you want, and you will know your outcome after that by our admissions team. Okay, so tuition fees, if you've got parents sitting in today's session, these are the tuition fees. I've converted the, this is actually the Indonesian one actually. Okay, please ignore the prices. Let me just do a quick, I hit the wrong one. Sorry about that. No, this is the Singapore. This is the Indonesian one. Let me just hide this so you don't get confused, okay? So let me just, yeah, this is the Indian one. I will unhide this one instead. So we go back to the tuition fees. Sorry, because IDR and INR are pretty close, so I got a little bit confused earlier. Okay, so this is actually the tuition fees in the Indonesian rupees. So if you take a look at the prices in front of you, these are all for 1 year, and it's for the diploma program. And these are for the BA, okay? So we will take a look at the BA because most of the students who are applying to Lasalle do come to the BA program. So you will be paying a full fee of 24,990 for 1 year in Sing dollars, okay? And it's for 3 years. So each year comes in 2 semesters, and you got to pay your school fees every semester on a every semester basis. Okay, so this is for the master's one. Scholarship, a very, very, very commonly asked questions by our international students. Can I apply for scholarship? The answer is yes, you can apply for scholarship, and you can apply for our Future Leader Scholarship so that, you know, you can try and see if it applies to you. It's open to all nationalities, but how we work in our Future Leader Scholarship is that you have to be offered a place first before you can actually apply for the scholarship. Okay, so for this 2021 intake in August, the scholarship has not opened yet. It will only open sometime towards the end of February, perhaps to the early days in March. So if you are interested in applying for scholarships, please feel free to tap on EdNet. They will help you to do the application. Okay. So some of the assessment criteria that they look at, and also the value and tenure, covering different values for the diploma and the BA students. Okay. Certainly, this is EdNet. Oh, this is actually India as well. Apologies for that, because the slides was done in like 5 minutes, so I had to do the changes really quickly. So please contact our representative in India. EdNet has been with us for such a long time. They are our seasoned agent, okay, in India. You can contact them, drop them an email, WhatsApp them to know more about Lasalle, to know more about the application matters, and they will be more than happy to assist you in whatever ways possible, okay? So you can connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Instagram. This is actually our 4 social media platforms. All the videos you've seen or you've watched earlier are all actually on the youtube.com Lasalle Singapore channel. Feel free to log on to the YouTube platform to actually take a look at more videos like open house, college events, faculty member sharing, alumni sharing, student sharing, and all of that. Okay. So I have come to the end of the presentation. I hope that was useful for you to know more about the college, okay? Niharika, perhaps we can open the platform to some Q&As.
So here we have 2 set of students. One is those students who have already been admitted. You've already told us about the details of the scholarship, right? So if you can just put the slide on again, if you could, Humaira.
Sure, just a second, please.
For the scholarship.
Yeah. This one right here?
Yeah. No, oh yeah, no, the other one, the details. Yeah, the assessment criteria. The assessment criteria. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so I think what is, just don't move the picture. I think what is very, very important is to ask this question as to what is the possibilities of getting these scholarships. I mean, are you generous with it, or is it very hard? Is it, very competitive? Can you just elaborate a bit more on this scholarship?
Okay, no problem. So basically for the scholarship wise, okay, my team actually manages the admission part. So we do have another team in the student services that actually manages the scholarship. But from my understanding, this scholarship is open to students from all from all nationalities. So it's not just open to students in India. So indeed, it is quite competitive, okay? But what happens is, as long as an application comes in, our student services team will actually arrange an interview with the student together with the scholarship committee, and I think they will ask some questions, about why do students need this scholarship, what are their strengths and in life, what are the strengths in the studies, what are they good at and all of that. So I'm not too sure what kind of questions are given. Okay, so I think it's best if the student is keen in scholarships. My advice to students would be just make the application, go through the interview, and then hope for a good outcome.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So they have these questions. Yes, all our students, most of our students will be, of course, definitely applying for scholarships. And they're always hoping for, they work so hard, so we're always hoping for scholarships. But so that's one of the areas, which is those students who have already been admitted. And there's another set of students who are going into the application process. Some have submitted the applications and are waiting for the results. And some are those who are planning to submit it. So what is the last date of submission exactly?
Okay, sure. So let me just reiterate the dates to you. So currently we are actually in the second window of application. Okay, so it comes with a deadline of 15 February, 1-5. Okay, 15 February. Okay, and what happens is, but if you do make an application anytime before the 28th of February, although it has surpassed the second window, it's completely fine. You will be able to enjoy an application fee waiver of that $120. So we've got quite a bit of students who actually applied from the open house weekend. and currently they are still applying. So all of these applications do not need to be paid. So which means you can save on that 120 Sing dollars all the way until 28th February only. Okay. Mm.
And what is the final deadline? So this is 28th February. So what is the final deadline of applying to LaSalle?
Okay, so the second window will actually end on the 15th of February, after which a third window will begin on the 16th and it will end on the 30th of March in next month. 30th March, yes. But usually what we will tell students is, hey, you know, if you guys are ready to apply, if you guys are ready with the portfolio or in the midst of it, and you can get that done quickly, try to make the application earlier so that we can assess you earlier as well and possibly give you the outcome earlier also, because a lot of students, they tend to wait until the very last minute. But sometimes, you know, we don't know, we can't foresee the number of students that make the application and those that get in and those that get rejected and all of that. So we are very afraid that, you know, certain programs may close for application should the third window come. So if you're keen in applying, my advice to you is would be to apply in this second window at the very least.
Yeah, so that's a good one. And also, I think, you know, I did get a few calls where students were a little apprehensive and were thinking that if they apply later because the portfolio is not ready, they may not get a good opportunity for admissions. But I guess there's no other choice but to just apply and wait and see how you're reviewed and if there is also a place availability. Going back to the students who are already admitted, Humra, you know that the board exams are going to be taking place in the month of May. And it's going to go on till the month, I think there is till June, and the results are supposed to come, I think, somewhere in the month of July. So what happens? I mean, it's like so close to, so how will LaSalle approach or look at this entire situation where the grades are concerned and the final transcripts from CBSE comes in?
Okay, got it, got it. Yes, so I think we've got a concerned parent who actually dropped in the chat as well, Ms Rashmi, okay. I think it's Tanvi's mother. So actually, yes, let's say if usually for Indian students, the official results, we can receive it by the 15th of July. But let's say, you know, it's if you know, thanks to this pandemic, everything is delayed, you know, you're not able to get the results by 15th of July. Maybe Team EdNet, either Niharika or Shoba, please just let me know, because I'm also monitoring this very closely. Not just India, we've got other countries as well who have also exams postponed to a later time, you know, resulting in the official results releasing at a later time as well. So we will try our best to see what can be done for that. Okay, but at the same time, do not worry about the results release outcome. Let's say if there's a delay in that, just let me know, and then I will discuss with my team and we will inform EdNet moving forward, you know, on what to do.
Actually, that is the biggest apprehension that all the students have, because when does the session start in LaSalle? Sometime in the month of July, right? July.
No, August.
But the whole process of doing the student pass and everything takes a while.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so not to worry, because last year what happens is, okay, so last year for students who actually came into LaSalle to join us in the 2020 intake, they had to come quite a bit earlier thanks to the quarantine period. Okay, so students would need to be quarantined for 2 weeks upon arrival in Singapore, prior to them starting school, prior to them going to the accommodation and all of that. But whether it's going to happen again this year, okay, we really do not know. We're not able to predict, but we will be closely monitoring the situation, you know, and we will also be in touch with the government. Whatever regulations that they provide, they will have to give it to us. They will have to tell it to us, and we will tell all our international students in due course. So in the event that students would actually need to come and serve the 2 weeks quarantine period, let's say if school begins in the month of August, okay, in mid-August, they would probably have to arrive in Singapore sometime towards the end of July, I believe.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying. When am I going to get the results and apply for the student pass and everything? And
correct, because yeah, we will let you know again, okay, not to worry. So maybe we may extend the official scores to a bit later. So it says here by Ms Rashmi that we are supposed to furnish the documents for grade 12 by 31st May. Okay, it's actually in July, not in May. So you can actually give it to us in July. Yeah, because official results only should give it to us by July.
Oh,
July.
then by July end, we should be hoping that we will get the results. But then this is the Indian government and we don't know about delays. So yeah,
Exactly.
that
Because
is a
even
very, very big question. So
yeah, even in Singapore as well, we don't know whether the students would have to serve the 2 weeks period or whether it has been decreased to 1 week. I mean, if coronavirus disappears in a few months or so, like everybody just is corona free or something, so we don't even have to do that quarantine period anymore. So it really depends, really. Mhm.
but Singapore has been very, very careful. Everyone's been walking around. It's like a completely open country, just like Australia is, because no one can come in, and if they come in, they have to quarantine, and no one can exit. So they've been very strict with their rules, and I think
Indeed,
that's the
indeed.
reason that we've had such amazing control over the pandemic.
Mm.
Coming back to the next question, I see we have many new students too.
Mhm.
Um, I have one question. I mean, the biggest issue which the fresh students have in their mind is they're supposed to apply for one program and they realize this is really not their calling and they want to switch and change their course to another program. What will be the process?
Okay, so you're saying that a student has actually applied for program A, but then halfway through, even before they start school, they think that, hey, program A is not really what I want to do.
After they've started school.
Oh, after they start school.
Yeah.
Okay, so after they start school, what happens is they would need to move on to the student services team for assistance because actually it's beyond my control already because I only deal with new students only. Okay, so for current students, they would have to go to the student services team to ask for assistance because actually it may be quite a tedious process, but I think it's not impossible. But I think it's better to speak to the student services for assistance. But from my end, okay, before students apply, we usually tell them that, hey, from day one, you'll be doing what you have applied for. So, you should know what you really want to do prior to applying. Mm,
Mm. Mm.
yeah. Thank
And
you.
what about the students who are going for areas like fine arts and
Mhm.
digital arts? What is the prospects about it where recruitments are concerned in Singapore?
Are you talking about job opportunities or what?
Yeah,
Job
job opportunities for students coming out from fine arts.
Okay, so fine arts. So for fine arts, we've got quite a few. Even on the website, actually, you will be able to see the career paths. Some of our fine arts students have actually worked in or are working in art academies, working with children doing art. Some of them are also actually working with adults doing arts. Some of them are working in the museums. Some of them are working in yeah, quite a lot of companies, honestly. There's quite a big prospects here in Singapore at the very least, okay, with regards to fine arts. And I know students who apply for fine arts, most of them, they are super talented. And I've actually seen Indian students' portfolio for fine arts. I think it's amazing, really. So
Yes,
yeah,
portfolios are amazing.
yeah, the portfolios are really great. The way they format it, the way they do it in the lay all the stuff out. So yeah, it's a good way. Yeah.
So great. Anyone has any other questions? I see a lot of students here. Please do ask your questions right now.
Yeah. You can ask me your questions. You can actually type it out in the chat box. Meanwhile, if you do have, Lavanya, I think Lavanya raised her hand. So, Lavanya, what is your question?
I'm sorry, I did it by mistake.
Oh, by mistake. Okay, no problem at all. So, actually, maybe I'll just touch base on what happens, with regards to the coronavirus situation here in Singapore. Certainly, what Niharika ma'am said earlier, it is indeed very much under control. Okay, every single day, maybe we only get like one case or maybe zero case on super good days. Most of our cases are actually kind of imported cases, sadly. Okay, so we're trying to control that. So that's the reason why Singapore is still close with its borders. We don't really allow visitors to come in unless they actually have like valid passes, like work pass, student passes, and all of that. So for parents who are in this session, do not worry too much about the situation for COVID here in Singapore because certainly everyone has to wear a mask. If you don't wear a mask, you'll be fined 300 Sing dollars the moment you're caught by a person wearing a red color t-shirt. Okay, we call them the safe distancing ambassadors. Even outside in the malls, you got to do safe entry. You got to check in and check out using your QR code to ensure you have to, stay 1 meter apart from people you don't know. Even in the restaurants, you can only have 8 people in one table. no intermingling. In weddings, only 100 people max, so a lot of rules and regulations are actually put in place to prevent the curb the spread of the COVID-19. Okay, so let me just take a look at this one. We've got questions from Adele Vincent. Do extracurricular activities and hobbies influence with students a better chance to be accepted? Actually, it's really determined by the strength of your portfolio, okay, and also the interview as well. Yeah. So curricular activities, I mean, if you do art as a curricular activities, or if you do art as a passion, you can also explain all of these during your sessions with the interviewers, so that they can also understand you a little bit better. Okay, but at the end of the day, I think the portfolio makes the biggest aspect to determine whether you can be accepted into the program or not, whether they find you suitable for the program or not. Okay.
Yeah, but it's also very, very important, like you just rightfully said, Humairah, that it's the portfolio definitely, but during the interview, how you're able to express your work, that's the time the interviewer actually come to know what is the thought process behind each and every piece, what you made, why you made what you made, and also is genuinity that this piece was actually made by you.
That's right.
So that is the time when the interviewer will come to know about the authenticity of the space. Yes, that is very, very important to be able to, express your work, describe your processes, your idea, development, concepts, creations, and that's how they know that, yes, this is originally your work.
Exactly.
I think Sai also has something to say. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. So another tip I can give you is that the interview is actually a two-way process, right? So you also have the rights, or you also have the opportunity to actually ask questions to the lecturers. What is the student culture like in Lasalle? Are there many students in that particular program that you're in? Just ask them. So I think assessors and interviewers and lecturers, they don't want to speak to like a rock or a statue. Yeah. Understand that certain students can be very nervous, they can feel a little bit anxious and all of that. It's completely normal. If you're confident, that's great. If you're nervous, it's not an issue, it's not your fault. Yeah, because I mean, it's only normal. But at the end of the day, you need to understand the fact that the lecturers are not there to eat you. Yeah, they just want to help you, they just want to know more about you. So you should also try to ask them questions and interact with them to also maximize the chances of letting them understand, or letting them realize that, hey, I like this student from so and so, from India. I think she's got the talent in art, and she's got the vibes and the feels to be in LaSalle. So we're gonna take her in. Yeah, something like that. Okay.
I think Sia has a question. Sia, what's your question?
Yes. Sia. Sia, you raised your hand. You may actually unmute yourself and ask a question, or else you can also just type it out in the chat box.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. So I'm in grade 9 right now. So I will be applying to LaSalle in grade 10 for diploma in interior design.
Okay.
So after that, if I want to do BA honors in interior design and product design, so will I have to do 4 years, or only, or I can combine the both courses?
Okay, very good question. Okay, Sia, very good question. So basically, all our diploma programs and all our BA programs are only of 3 years in full-time duration. We don't have a 4 years or 1 year or a foundation year kind of thing. We don't have all that. So it's just 3 and 3. So let's say if you, after your standard 10, after your grade 10, you want to come with us to do the diploma program. And then when you graduate from the diploma program, you can actually proceed to do the degree program in LaSalle, either in the interior or the product design. There is no combination of programs together. You have to choose either major, okay? And diploma in interior design is cognate to BA interior design. So for example, cognate meaning it's related, right? So because it's related, let's say if your scores in your final year diploma is really great, and there are spaces, you may also actually jump directly to the second year in the interior design BA program. Okay, but like I mentioned to you again, this is actually not guaranteed, because you're also fighting with the entire cohort. But let's say if you do not get the place in the second year, you will be able to join the degree program from the first year, and it is actually for 3 years only. It's not a 4-year full-time program. So I hope that answers your question, Sia.
Okay.
Prospects.
And what are the prospects of interior designing?
Okay. Prospects of interior designing is actually you can be an interior designer for homes, houses, offices. You can also be an architect. You can also be an assistant interior designer for an interior design firm. Actually, for prospects, let me just do a quick share screen. If you want to go onto the website, hang on, let me just show you how you can go about uh, seeing the career paths. Okay. Just close this. So I'm back at the Zoom. So I'm going to do a quick share screen onto the website. So this is actually our website, lasalle.edu.sg. So in the event that you want to see what career paths you can actually take a look at, you can just simply go onto programs, okay? Choose whatever programs that you want. So in the case of Sia, she's inquiring on interior design for the BA level. So click on BA. You can simply click on interior design, which is this one right here on the left side on the third row, most left side column. And then when you click on that, you'll be able to see all these program pages are all super useful for students and parents, okay? You can get to see what the program is all about. You can get to see the course details. Course details meaning you can even click on the arrow here to see what kind of modules you'll be taking, okay? And then when you scroll down even more, you'll be able to see all of these learning methods, internship, career paths. So these are some of the career paths that you can make as a graduate from the interior design program. Okay. On top of that, you can even scroll down and see some of the competitions that our students have actually took part in. Okay. And the academics. So some of the lecturers and the program leaders in interior design. And at the bottom part, under the entry requirements, you will be able to see the portfolio requirements right here. Okay, certainly EdNet has done this so many times for so many students. So if you do have difficulties, with the portfolio requirements or the criteria, feel free to tap on them. They will be able to advise you accordingly. Okay, so even so for the fees and all of that, it's all visible right here. So the program page is indeed a very good page for you to take a look at for all the programs that we have in the college. Okay, Sia?
Yeah, thank you so much. And one last question
Yes.
that will spatial designing be included in the interior design programs?
You will learn a little bit of spatial designing, but more towards the interior designing actually. So if you do apply for the interior design program, you will actually learn commercial space designing of homes, houses, restaurants, hotels. You will learn a little bit of rendering techniques, how you can do 3D renderings. You will need to have some knowledge in sketchings as well because you will do like whiteboards of sketches in stages before you come for a final product. And you can actually also go and take a look at the Lasalle show website, like I showed you earlier, to see some of the works done by our interior design students in the BA level.
And what softwares do we have to know for being accepted in LaSalle?
Okay, for softwares, there is no need for you to know specifically. If you have some knowledge in Adobe Photoshop, that's great, okay? But all the other softwares, you'll be taught. So there is no need for you to know in advance, really. So not to worry about that aspect.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Okay.
See, if you have any questions, you can always come here and get us more details as to what and how to make the portfolio. Yeah.
Indeed.
There is also Hiba. Hiba says, how many LaSalle branches are there in India? LaSalle doesn't have any branches in India.
Unfortunately, no, we don't have any branches in India. We only have one LaSalle, and the only LaSalle is in Singapore. I mean, we do have other LaSalles in other countries, but those are not affiliated with us. We don't know who they are. We're not family. Some of them are actually like design schools. Some of them are not design school, business schools. Some of them are engineering schools. Some of them is actually a high school in Malaysia, like the LaSalle in Kuala Lumpur. It's actually a boys' elementary school. So it really depends, but LaSalle in Singapore is the one and only arts college in Southeast Asia. Yeah. Okay. So Hiba, hopefully that answers your question. Okay. Right.
So anyone has any other questions?
So
please do raise your hand now.
Yeah, so just to repeat that, applications made from now until the 28th February, it's FOC. So certainly it's the best time to make an application, and you're welcome, Hiba. So if you've got any other questions, I'm the best person to ask. I hope I can answer all of your questions. I know Niharika ma'am and her team will do a great job, but then again, I'm also here. So if you want to ask me, you can also do it right now. Okay? Can lessen their workload slightly.
Yeah. HUMAIRAH is wonderful. She's so cooperative. Your work is processed like this. Unlike other schools and organizations where you're literally waiting for things to happen. So I think the communications is and the cooperation is absolutely fantastic.
Indeed, the feeling is mutual.
Anyone has any questions? Because it's 2 o'clock and I think we are going to be wrapping up this session now.
Oh, it's only 2 in India. I just remember. It's 4:30 in Singapore. The sun is almost setting.
So, Ashna, I see Ashna. Yeah, Ashna, she is a brilliant artist. Ashna, you have any questions? Ashna Bakliwal.
Ashna.
I don't think she does.
Okay, no worries at all.
But wonderful. If anyone has any other questions, and if, as HUMAIRAH said, that what is very important is what to make. If I'm applying for interior design and I make a fine arts portfolio, I'm not going to get in. My portfolio also has to show my interest, correct? So if you have any questions and want to know about how to work on your applications or your portfolio or need any advice, I'm going to put the email address right here. It's ask@ednetconsultants.com, or you can call the office. Oops. Call the office at 410-13223-24 and 25. Yeah. And that's it. And you can speak to any of the counselors who's going to, and if you want to specifically speak to me, then my name is Niharika and you can just connect with me.
Yep.
Niharika, I can't give you my mobile number, but you can call up the office and you can ask for me, correct?
Yes. So the email addresses, the email address and the numbers are stated there in the chat box. So if you want to take a picture of that, this is a great time, so you don't lose out on the numbers and all that. And for portfolio wise, let's say if you're applying for a certain program, for example, interior design, let me just give you a small tip that 80% of your portfolio should be related to what you're applying for, and the other 20% can be at random. Okay, so it can be something that has to do with fine arts or digital arts or animation even. You can just pump it in there. But as long as 80% of your work should be related to the program that you are applying for. So that's how the lecturers would assess, because the assessors will be the lecturers teaching that particular program. If you're going to give us a fine arts portfolio when you're applying for interior design, and then the interior design lecturers will go like, hey, what am I looking at? I don't really know what fine arts is. So that's going to be a big problem. Yeah. Okay, so 80%.
So what HUMAIRAH is saying, if you have 10 pieces that you're showing, 8 pieces has to be those pieces which are moving you towards the course that you are applying to. There's so many times I have students coming up and giving me or showing me a portfolio which is totally random, and they could be applying for communications, and it says you don't even have one illustration on your piece. So it's very, very important. That's a very important aspect for admissions, right?
Okay. Zinat has a question. Okay. Hi, is this what S up number also? I don't know what it means, Zinat.
Yeah, she wants my WhatsApp number, but
WhatsApp. Okay.
Yeah, so I will just have to ask what's my WhatsApp number.
Okay.
I mean the office WhatsApp number, because I can't give. Oh, this is mine.
Oh, it's called what?
Okay. It's already there. It's 956. So yeah. So it's 95600281144. Yeah. That's the WhatsApp number.
Right.
I'm sorry. I just know my number, and I think that's more than enough for me to remember.
Okay, because I didn't know what S up meant. Yeah, usually in Singapore we'll spell it out WhatsApp. So what is up? A little bit confused earlier, but it's WhatsApp.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Okay, you want to give your conclusion, HUMAIRAH, so we can close up the session, please?
Sure, no problem. So again, I would like to give my many thanks to all of you that have actually participated in today's session. I know it's only Tuesday. Hang in there. The Friday's gonna come. Your weekend's gonna come. Okay. For those of you who are actually taking your 12 standard exams in a few months or so, all the best to you. I'm sure all of you will do great. For those of you who are 50-50 in applying to LaSalle, let it be 100% right now after this presentation. I hope it's 100% already. Please make your applications by the 20th of February to save on that 120 Sing dollars. And at the end of the day, if you do have any queries or assistance that you need, Niharika and her team from EdNet will be more than happy to assist you. So please contact them, okay?
Thank you all for attending today's session, and good luck, and hope to see you all soon.
Okay,
Thank
take
you.
care everyone. Stay safe
Bye.
in India. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.